This is a very strange connection. He says a strong connection exists between climate change and alien abductions. This is what an Oxford student claims. This is Unbended Reality by the Oxford Students Association. Oxfordstudent.com, sorry. Now, okay, how is that possible? The Oxford student has learned that Dr. Young-Ha Chi, instructor in Korean at Oxford's Oriental Institute, believes in a strong correlation between climate change and alien abductions. In 2012, Dr. Chi gave a lecture at the AMAC conference titled Alien Abduction and the Environmental Crisis, in which he outlined his theory concerning the presence of aliens, space aliens. We're talking about extraterrestrials on Earth. Dr. Chi began his lecture with the statement that, quote, perhaps human civilization is coming to an end, end quote. In his 55-minute presentation, he cited Dr. David Jacobs, an abductee researcher in the U.S., who argued that aliens' primary purpose is to colonize the Earth by interbreeding with humans to produce a new hybrid species. Second-generation hybrids, quote-unquote, are, according to Jacobs, walking unobserved among us. Dr. Chi argued that, quote, it is not only scientists and theologians, but also non-human species who appear to be greatly concerned about the survivability of the human species, end quote. He pointed out that the timing of aliens' appearance coincides with the Earth facing major problems, climate change and nuclear weapons in particular. He concluded that, quote, it may be more or less assumed that the hybrid project is a response to this impending demise of human civilization, end quote. Well, we're talking about transhumanism here, obviously. Now, he went on to argue that, and here he's claiming that it has to be done because we're going to be offing ourselves anyway, the way the global warming is going. You understand what he's pointing at. He concludes that, quote, it may be more or less assumed that the hybrid project is a response to this impending demise of human civilization, end quote. And he went on to argue that if we act now on climate change, quote, not only can we save ourselves, but also prove aliens wrong in their judgment of our moral capacity, end quote. In April 2018, Dr. Chi approached the Oxford Union to propose a debate on the subject. The proposed motion was, aliens exist on Earth, yes or no? However, his proposal was not accepted by the then president-elect. Since the conference, Dr. Chi has developed his theory, writing a book in Korean, the title of which roughly translates to Alien Visitations and the End of Humanity. Dr. Chi spoke exclusively to the Oxford student regarding his theory. When asked whether he still holds the views outlined in the 2012 conference, Dr. Chi answered positively, elaborating on his views about alien abductions, the comprehensive biosphere theory, and his hypothesis as to the reasons for ETs creating a new human species. Dr. Chi believes that there are 4 types of aliens: small, tall and blonde, extraterrestrials with scales and snaky eyes, and finally insect-like aliens. The latter of these seems to be the highest in the hierarchy, he said, and gives orders to the lower ranks. Whilst he states the cases of alien abductions are diverse, he notes that, quote, what is common is that they are all conducting some kind of biological experiment, including the production of a hybrid, end quote. I wonder where he got all this information from, probably from various YouTube videos. I don't understand. We've read half the article and we don't understand where he's basing his theory on. Usually scientists base it on some kind of evidence. But anyway, explaining his theory of the comprehensive biosystem, Dr. Chi stated, quote, if they are far, they should not be concerned about us. I don't think they are from far away. They are just next to us. We can't see them. We can use an analogy of fish which can think and perceive things only in the way that they can, and humans also perceive only in the way we can, so our perception of the world is limited by our organs, end quote. According to Dr. Chi's theory, the fact that space aliens, extraterrestrials that is, and humans share the same biosphere means that climate change bears a negative impact on them, thus accounting for their increased interference in human affairs. Well, serves them right. They're from a different planet, supposedly. What did they expect? That they would immediately fit into ours? Just like we would not be able to fit into the environment of the moon or Mars or Saturn or Jupiter or anywhere else for that matter. Now, Dr. Chi went on to outline his 3 hypotheses as to why aliens may want to produce hybrids with humans. Doesn't this remind you of Genesis? Yes, it reminds us of Genesis and the Genesis chapter 6 Genesis giants. There were giants in the earth in those days, talking about the Nephilim or the Anunnaki. So he stated he wanted to outline his 3 hypotheses as to why aliens may want to produce hybrids with humans. He stated, quote, "One possibility is that they find our DNA valuable for the preservation of the stock. Second, to create species which can survive in the future climate conditions. Thirdly, some abductees report that these hybrids are of very high intelligence, so they are producing these hybrids as a problem solver, a future leader," end quote. When asked whether he holds a pessimistic view of the future, Dr. Chi expressed concern that there is a lack of political will to prevent climate change, even if we have the necessary technology. He said, "Judging from the way the ETs are acting, they have a better view of our future. Perhaps it is pointing to a pessimistic future," end quote. And he added, quote, "So they come not for the sake of us, but for the sake of themselves, their survival, but their survival is actually our survival as well, the survival of the entire biosphere. That is where I progressed in developing my theory, and I'm still looking for more evidence to support my view," end quote. And there's a link here in this article. You can find Dr. Chi's lecture. And the correction says the article was previously claimed that Dr. Chi is a professor, however, his official position is instructor in Korean. Well, I wonder if Dr. Chi has ever spoken to Paul Hellyer, the former Defense Minister of Canada, who has been claiming the same things. As a defense minister, I think he has more evidence than Dr. Chi has, the lecturer here. Paul Hellyer, as we know, has disclosed that space aliens, extraterrestrials, are living among us. He says that you could pass them on the street and you would not know that they were ETs. That's how much they look like us, and that they are living among us on Earth. And not only that, but they're holding positions in various governments worldwide. Some governments have disclosed that they exist. Some other Western governments do not want to disclose this. And he claims that Russia has disclosed this, and he claims that the US has not disclosed this, even though they have aliens there working and instructing people on advanced technology, etc. I, for my part, want to put in my 2 cents here. I believe that they are Nephilim, Anunnaki, fallen angels, Genesis giants and the like, and they are never ever to be trusted. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.